I'm Rosie, and you're watching Celeb Secrets TV. My journey into music was definitely an up and down journey. I started writing and playing the guitar when I was 12, but when I was 12, I did not think it was possible that this would be my career. Like, it was more of just a hobby. As I was finding myself applying to colleges, it was actually my family who inspired me. I said I wanted to be a nurse or a doctor or a therapist, but I'm like really learning challenged. And so my parents were like, listen, honey, like if that's what you want to do, we support you. But have you ever thought about like music? Because you can't do STEM, you can't do math, you can't do science. Like, realistically speaking, like, we support you no matter what, but you have such a talent in music, like we think you should go for music. So I applied to all colleges with psychology programs except for one, which was Berklee College of Music. And my mom basically said to me, she's like, if you get in, you're going. And so I said, okay, like if I get in, like not thinking I would, and then I did. And it was pretty much just fate from there. Like I went and I just immediately, like day one, fell in love with it and realized music can be a career. And it also, music can be a helping profession. And I really learned that when I went to college. I didn't end up graduating. I ended up going viral, which then started my career in the music industry. I owe a lot really to my mom and to my family for encouraging me, and I give them a lot of credit for where I am now. So that's kind of how I got here. I think about this a lot about what Berklee taught me. The way I describe my time at Berklee and just like what I learned is that I felt like it put words to my feelings. Like it put an explanation to everything I was feeling for so long. Going into college, I knew that I really loved certain chord progressions, but I didn't know why. And then I took a theory class and I was like, oh, that's why. Like those are the chords that I love. And this is why I like them, because they evoke this kind of feeling in me. It was the same with psychological, like my relationship to music mentally, because I took a lot of music therapy classes and I really studied the cognitive effects of music on the brain, and I learned about why it is I get chills when I listen to music. As I started putting out music under Rosie in 2018, I was speaking a lot with my brother about kind of who I wanted to be and what I wanted to stand for. And from the beginning, we agreed that like a brand isn't just like something you stand for. A brand should be an accentuation of who you already are. We thought about my life, and at that time I was quite literally like, I was like that bitch in high school. Like I did every single thing. And so when we were trying to figure out like what I stood for, I was like, but I stand for everything. And he was like, my brother's like, I know, but like, who are you? Like, what is it that you know in 10 years, 20 years, you'll still like feel strongly about? And so the first thing I realized was makeup. I always knew that makeup was something that wasn't for me. It was just like hard for me. Like I was never really good at it. And then when I got on Instagram, I started seeing people in makeup, and I started people using all these filters. And I realized that it played a huge, huge toll on my mental health growing up. Everything felt so fake. And as a little girl, it just like really destroyed my confidence. And so I remember the day I was like, oh my gosh, Mateo, it's my brother. I was like, Mateo, I think I don't want to wear any makeup, and I think I don't want to use any filters. And I think I want no makeup, no filters, and I just want to be like really, really honest and open about mental health. And he was like, there you go. We got immense pushback. We got so much pushback in the beginning because people were like, how are you supposed to be a big star and have bags under your eyes? How are you supposed to get a bunch of followers on Instagram when your page doesn't look aesthetic? Someone was like, you're never going to get signed to a major label if you don't look the part. And I was like, no, that's why I'm going to get signed. I was like, no, that's like why, because I'm trying to do it different, and I'm trying to be a role model, and I'm trying to prove that like you shouldn't need to do all this stuff to yourself to like enhance your beauty, like that you don't need to. You can, and that's cool, but like you don't need to. Anyway, then I found Arista, I found my record label, and they were like, we love this about you. We think it's so incredible. And I was like, thank you. So on November 1st, I released my third EP. It's called What Scares Me the Most. And this project is all about facing, confronting, and overcoming my fears. It's really important to me with this project that I not only emphasize, how many fears we all have and how scary it is, but also how much good and how much power comes from confronting those fears and from overcoming those fears. My biggest realization I kind of had from this project was that being scared together is a lot better than being scared alone. We cover everything from like fear of being loved, fear of not being loved, fear of being left, fear of death, fear of driving. The list goes on for me. I'm a very fearful person, I realized. This is the part where it feels like, I always say creating music is like 50% math, 50% magic. I feel like this was the magic part because I don't think I like intentionally went into sessions like, I want to tap into this fear. I would go into sessions and be like, I have this hook that I really like. I have this chorus that I really like. And as I was fleshing it out, it would kind of become apparent. I would love to. I mean, touring is just one of my favorite things. I know it can be difficult, definitely. Like mentally it can be really difficult, physically it can be really difficult, but I just have the best touring team and I love touring so much. We're already thinking about it. And like, I don't know if plan is the right word, if we're planning it, but we're very excited about the prospect of it happening, and it will happen. No guarantees on when. We're figuring that out, but I'm so excited to take the full EP now that it's out on the road. As for what's coming next, I'm actually almost done with the next project. It's just come so easily and so effortlessly, and if you know me, you know that like I can never stop writing. It just flows out of me, and this is really a secret, okay, Celeb Secrets. I'm like really spilling tea here, but I think I'm just about wrapping it up. I have a little bit more to do, and then I will show Arista. But show my label. But yeah, it's very much in a similar vein, like I'm continuing to write from a place of vulnerability. I'm continuing to be honest. I'm continuing to be open, like that'll never change. And as for kind of like the theme and the concept, I can't give away too much yet, but it's very much in the same vein. I think I'm in my accepting love era. My whole life, I've always felt like I've owed everyone around me something. Like anytime anyone gives something to me, anytime someone shows me love, anytime someone is kind to me or does me a favor, I'm like, I owe them. I owe you. I owe everyone so much. I talk about this with my therapist all the time. I'm like, I owe everyone everything. And she's like, so when you give, do you expect something back? Do you feel like people owe you? And I was like, no one owes me anything. She's like, so then why, when people give to you, when people support you, do you feel like you owe them? And I was like, oh. I was like, wait, that's really true. And I realized that it goes so deep, that like, I feel like I owe my friends so much, and I owe my, my team so much, and like a potential partner, like I know I owe them so much. But then I realized there's owing someone and then there's gratitude. And so I'm trying to change the lens and be like, I have so much gratitude for my team. I have so much gratitude for my friends and all that. And so a big part of that is learning to accept love. Some of my biggest goals are, I really, really, really want a top 40. It's one of my biggest dreams. One of the biggest reasons I want a top 40 is because my scaredy cat brother agreed to get a tattoo with me if I do. So that's like big inspiration. My next big goal is that I'd like to create an album. I've done EPs, which if you know, EP stands for extended play. It's like a shorter project, but I would love to do a full-length album. That is just an absolute dream. And then the other big dream is to sell out a headline tour.